Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. We open on Port Charles, where two major players are quietly aligning their agendas, Valentin and Jen Sidwell. The question on everyone's mind, are they working together? And if so, what exactly is their scheme? Let's dig deep into what the evidence says, scene by scene, motive by motive, and examine the possibilities. First, let's meet the players. Valentin, a name steeped in legacy and danger. Over the years, he has built a reputation as a mastermind with global reaches, someone who doesn't shy away from crime, manipulation, and secrets. From his early days of forging alliances with major underworld figures to his more recent positioning in the intricate web of Port Charles power plays, Valentin is a man who always seems to be one move ahead. On the other side, Jen Sidwell, a newcomer to Port Charles, or at least someone whose full past is only now coming into view. Sidwell's arrived with ambition, with resources, and with a sense that he's less interested in playing by the town's rules and more interested in rewriting them. According to recent reporting, Sidwell's shocking partner Exposed claimed that he already had secret alliances buried deep beneath the surface of the mob rivalry with Sonny Corinthos, now the first indicator that these two may be aligning. Recent spoilers highlight that Sidwell doesn't seem to be acting alone. From controlling employment of couriers, interfering in high-stakes territory negotiations, and quietly undermining multiple power structures in Port Charles, one thing is clear: he has a network. Let's walk through the clues. One article noted that Sidwell's network includes individuals you might not have known were on board, including ties to the Cassadine Empire. Consider this: Valentin is a Cassadine through and through, with motivations that run both personal and business-oriented. What if Sidwell's interest in Valentin isn't incidental, but foundational? Next, think about strategy. Valentin, by his nature, is someone who favors long-term payoff, tends to operate in the shadows, and rarely engages in brute force unless it serves a purpose. Sidwell, meanwhile, is playing more overtly. Territory moves, provocations, taking over the docks, buying properties formerly belonging to the Cassadine such as Windmere. When a major property like Windmere is involved, it suggests something more than just random acquisition. It whispers legacy, ambition, and symbolic power. Now imagine a scenario. Sidwell wants to shake up Sonny Corinthos' domain. He needs muscle, he needs reach, he needs someone who understands covert intelligence and criminal maneuvering. Valentin fits the description. Could they be forming a clandestine partnership where Sidwell brings territory, aggression, and resources, while Valentin brings global reach, strategic intelligence, and the Cassadine legacy? It's plausible. But let's check for counter-evidence. Valentin has historically been his own man. He belongs to no one's crew, answers to no one but himself. His past alliances were transactional, not necessarily collaborative in the long haul. Would he realistically become a sidekick to Sidwell? Possibly not. But collaboration doesn't always mean subordination. They could be co-equals, united temporarily by mutual gain. Next, consider motive. For Valentin, the Cassadine Empire, legacy concerns, dominance beyond Port Charles, influence over his daughter Charlotte's future, and the desire to remain relevant in the shifting landscape of the show. For Sidwell, control of Port Charles, possibly revenge against Sonny, building a criminal empire or disrupting an established one, and leveraging resources for profit. Their motives overlap in the area of power, territory, and legacy. Another clue: function. Sidwell's actions include interfering with legal processes, buying the peers, pressuring judges, and using explosions and frame-ups. Valentin's typical playbook involves espionage, manipulation, and high-stakes secrets rather than overt mob-style warfare. If the show plans to combine these styles, this partnership would make narrative sense. One partner brings the mob war, the other brings the cloak and dagger. What about the current situation in Port Charles? We know from recent weekly previews that Valentin is again receiving mysterious visitors, even when incarcerated, and that he is linked to intelligence kept with the WSB. Sidwell is involved in dark projects, in research funding, in mind control angles, in couriers and covert operations. The convergence is striking. So what might their joint plan look like? Let's hypothesize. They could be aiming to take over Sunny's territory, leveraging inside access and avoiding detection by making certain parts of the plan look like independent operations. Valentin might supply intel or resources, e.g., mercenaries, weapon sources, overseas connections. Sidwell might commit local pressure, property acquisitions, legal manipulation, local law enforcement bribery, mob chaos. Together they destabilize Sunny's world, and perhaps the Cassadine hold on Windmere shifts to Sidwell or to a side vehicle entity controlled by both. Another possible angle. Sidwell uses Valentin as a means of legitimacy. A Cassadine seal gives weight. Meanwhile, Valentin uses Sidwell's overt aggression to mask his more covert ambitions. When Valentin's hand appears in any plot, it's dangerously subtle, but if combined with Sidwell's brash moves, it shines a spotlight on Valentin's reach in a way that advances his brand without exposing his own operations. Let's examine possible reveals. Perhaps Sidwell is the front man for a Cassadine return. Some fans are already speculating Sidwell could actually be a hidden Cassadine heir, or have a familial link, tied into the dagger, tied to Windmere, tied to Helena's legacy. If that's true, Valentin might not be a partner in a simple sense, but a co-heir or a conspirator in the same house. That changes the dynamic. Their alliance isn't just business, it's blood. But the show may want to maintain ambiguity. It may be that Valentin and Sidwell are in parallel tracks rather than in lockstep. Valentin might even be manipulating Sidwell, or Sidwell might think he's partnering while Valentin has other motives entirely. Valentin's history of deception, betrayal, switching sides suggests he may play his own game while leveraging Sidwell to do the heavy lifting. It raises the question, who is really in control? Is Valentin the string puller? Is Sidwell the enforcer? Or are they both pawns in yet another higher power scheme? Why would either partner risk alliance? Valentin's brand, if too tainted by Sidwell's mob violence, could be compromised. Sidwell's ambition, if too dependent on Valentin's secret world, could expose him to intelligence forces or WSB operations threatening his freedom. So the show might structure this alliance with hidden caveats, limits, and likely a betrayal built in. What should viewers watch for? First, joint appearances and secret meetings. If we see Sidwell visiting Steinmauer where Valentin is incarcerated, that speaks volumes. Second, shared assets. If we spot the same courier networks, the same shell companies, the same front property linked to both. Third, communications referencing our partner, our mutual friend, the Cassadine connection, the sort of vague language the writers love. We already have a reference. Sidwell told Dalton, "Our mutual friend is growing impatient, and neither of us is happy about your progress." That mutual friend phrasing suggests a three-way network, possibly including Valentin. Also, watch which missions each takes on. If Sidwell tackles the docks and the mob front, and Valentin quietly handles WSB, global mercenary contracting, covert shipments, then the narrative will make their partnership more plausible without overtly labeling it. What's at stake if they succeed? If Sidwell and Valentin merge their power, Sunny's reign could be eroded. Port Charles's underworld could flip. Legacy estates like Windmere could be under new control, and families like the Cassadines and Corinthoses might be sidelined. The ripple effects, law enforcement involvement, family wars, betrayals, unexpected victims. Let's fast forward to potential outcomes. One scenario. Sidwell betrays Valentin once his goal is complete, because he always knew what he wanted. Control, not equality. Valentin anticipated this and sets the trap so that when Sidwell turns, Valentin retains the power. Another scenario. Valentin and Sidwell fall out over legacy. Perhaps Valentin's connection to Charlotte and the Cassadines means he refuses to let Sidwell fully dominate, leading to civil war within their alliance. A third scenario. They both get outplayed by a third party, maybe the WSB FBI-type operation, or another Cassadine faction, meaning the alliance was a stepping stone to a bigger game. Here's my verdict. Based on all available evidence, yes, Valentin Cassadine and Jen Sidwell are likely partners in crime, insofar as they share aligned interests, resources, and timing. Whether the partnership is truly equal, or one is manipulating the other remains uncertain. The tightest clue we have is that Sidwell's network overlaps with Cassadine territory, and Valentin's global criminal history suggests he may have the capacity to be the mysterious partner behind the scenes. The show's writers are clearly laying groundwork for a showdown where alliance equals advantage, for now. Before we wrap up, let's consider what this means for other characters. For Sonny Corinthos, it means he may be facing a two-front war, one obvious and one hidden for the Cassadine children and heirs. It means legacy is being weaponized, the estate, the empire, the history. For law enforcement and WSB equivalents, it means the blindsiding of territory war with international crime enters the play. In closing, watch every meeting, every property acquisition, every odd whisper about our mutual friend, the next phase, or the legacy heir. Those phrases often signal the bigger game. The partnership between Valentin Cassadine and Jen Sidwell may be one of the most consequential alliances the show has built in years. If and when it fully surfaces, the fallout will change everything in Port Charles. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for all of your updates.